This is gonna be a weird one to get into, I think.
What is that?
Cause, like, I wanna give Tamers, like, the full, respect it deserves, I guess. Like, I'll make sure I actually, do it justice and, properly, analyze it.
Oh, it's fine. Just talk about it however you want, man.
Yeah. Yeah, if you're watching this on YouTube, we should have visuals now, actual moving bits of the show. Hopefully. Hopefully I did. I, ran through a file converter to, get crap going, and I think it should work. Presumably it'll, plug in, right, Anna? Yeah. If things do not go well, then, well, I tried, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, got that done. There's well of, just crazy real life stuff going down that's just, just horrific. Actually horrific,
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is probably the worst place to mention it, but how my aunt's had a bunch of problems with her foot?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, her bone split,
Ooh.
in the middle of the night, and there was just blood everywhere, so that's a thing.
Oh man, that sucks.
So yeah, that story's probably not gonna have a great ending. I'm glad I mentioned this on the Digimon podcast. So yeah, anything been going on with you?
No, not really.
So yeah, should we just get into it then?
Sure.
Alright, so effing new season finally, Digimon Tamers.
It's as much as I love Adventure Zero to a little less, but I mean, that series is pretty good. I'm glad to get to Tamers though.
Yeah. Honestly, I remember seeing, some episodes from this, a lot of bits and pieces, a lot of stuff, out of context,
Uh-huh.
So, I don't believe I've seen this first episode before, but I did definitely see, the second one at some point.
So, are you just watching the subs like I am?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just watching the subs.
Okay, so let's establish this. Let's establish this now. English, Japanese names.
English names.
Okay.
Yeah, because, yeah. Those are the one. Honestly, the Japanese names aren't that far off for the most part.
Yeah, the one that's the furthest off is Henry.
And Jerry.
Well, Jerry is just Jury. That's still
yeah. Yeah.
Rika is
Right, yeah, actually, yeah, I was just so busy autocorrected it to Rika in my head that I just never, never really clicked.
Yeah, her name is really similar. In fact, watching the sub, I'm kind of shocked at how on point the voice actor choices were.
Oh, really?
Yeah, as far as I can remember, except for maybe Takato. I think Takato in the English dub might have had a quite a bit of a deeper voice, but I mean,
yeah,
Rika sounds pretty similar in both versions. So does Renamon. So does Henry.
I feel like I remember Takao sounding a bit different, and I remember Guillemon sounding different, but I think that's the only real casting distinction, I guess you'd say.
Yeah, it's as far as kind of getting similar voice actors. I think they did a really good job with the dub, actually.
Yeah, And if all's going to a plan, like, if all's going according to plan, then right now you should be seeing, like, just a quick comparison of, like, Guillemon's voice or some crap, I don't know.
Hi, Guillemon.
Right, I'm Takato.
Takato-man?
I'm not a Digimon. Takato.
Takato-man.
いるの？そう、僕はタカト。タカトモン？タカトモンじゃない。タカト。タカトモン？
Yeah, there it is.
All I'm seeing is the picture of the Digimon, or whatever that Digimon is, attacking.
Yeah. I was talking about the YouTube upload.
Oh, okay, you're not.
Yeah.
For the,
No, I can't do that, like, you know, like, live on stream. Unfortunately.
I think what you could do is, like, set those up in advance as different scenes, and then just switch to those when you want to play them.
I probably could, but that would require too much forethought on my part. Cause, yeah. I don't know. Like, if I, like, really want to just talk about something, like, I could probably make it work. I'd probably find a way.
Offer good advice on that.
Yeah, like, totally fair.
Yeah. So, I guess the first thing to talk about is the opening, because that's the first thing you see.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of Biggest Dreamer. Not the version I grew up with, because I watched all this dubbed at first, but big fan of Biggest Dreamer.
Yeah, like, it's a good song, man. You know?
Yeah. Also, I like the visuals of the Japanese version more than the English opening, which I don't think has this, where it's showing off, like, the Digimon, the main character's Digimon, like, evolving or whatever, and then, like, it'll cut till it cuts, like, a shot of Impmon.
Yeah.
Like, it goes from Guillemon to Terriermon, and for a brief second you see Impmon, and then from the transition to Terriermon to Renamon, it shows a brief shot of a mysterious shadowy figure, which is Impmon's evolution.
Yeah. Like, what I really want to pause, that's like, there's some cool touches in, like, you know, when you see the evolution shots, and you see, like, you know, the shadow of, like, you know, like, in their, like, whatever color of, like, the partner in their Digimon, like, the foreground. Yeah, and you'd see it's, like, you know, Takato and Guillemon just, like, lazing around, and, you know, they just do a little, like, fist bump thing, and it's like, yeah, you know, like, they might not have all their crap together, but, you know, they're, like, kind of on the same wavelength. And you see, like, oh yeah, like, Henry's, like, you know, just walking towards the foreground with, like, you know, Terriermon just on his head, just doing his cute little thing. It goes to, like, Rika, and, like, her and Renamon just sort of, like, you know, face each other, and they just, like, run off in different directions. It's like, oh yeah, you know, because there's, like, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's sort of, yeah, it's implying there's, like, a distance between the two.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's, like...
At least for now.
Yeah, potentially, like, you know, a bit of, like, a friction there, maybe, you know?
Yeah. Well, we see a bit of how Rika feels about Renamon as of right now. In the third episode.
But yeah, it's, like, really interesting that it's, like, you know, they're, like, the one pair that's not, like, you know, really, like, together, right?
Yeah. And, which is appropriate, because they're kind of, like, they're kind of like a mini antagonist.
Yeah.
Like, Rika and Renamon are, like, the first obstacle that Takato and Guillemon have to deal with.
Like, for the sake of these 3 episodes, they basically are the bad guys. Or at least the closest we have to them.
Yeah, I don't remember for how much longer Rika is kind of plays antagonist, but yeah, it takes a while, I think.
Yeah. So, like, I do want to mention that, like, this episode just starts off, like, episode 1 is just so, like, weirdly tightly run, you know? Like, this episode feels effing packed.
Yeah, well, it's gotta set up the main character, and then it's gotta set up basically the entire origin story of his Digimon partner.
Yeah.
Which is pretty simple. The kid loves Digimon, and so he creates his own.
Yeah,
And then magic.
Yeah, very, like, basic origin story, very, like, mysterious. But it's like, I was just watching through, it's like, every single scene is, like, you know, just a very clear, like, direct purpose. It's like, oh yeah, they're on point this season. So yeah, it just starts off, it's like, you know, seeing, like, this digital landscape that's, like, you know, on screen right now. I thought these weird circuit boards in the background.
Yeah, you don't really see the circuit boards in the shot, but yeah, it's like running on. The first thing we see is a little white Digimon running.
Yeah, Calamon.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's being chased by male Dramon, I think he's called.
Is that what the armored one is called?
Yeah, the, like, Night Dragon one.
Okay, I'm not entirely sure. I'm not familiar with him.
Yeah, he's being chased by male Dramon. And, like, out of nowhere, this effing, like, black Tyramon just attacks it, and they get into, like, a brief, like, you know, quick fight as, like, Calamon's just watching them. So, like, yo. Yeah, it's Earth I Won't Pot. Like, this show makes really good use of its stills, right? Because, like...
Go ahead.
Yeah, because, like, the animation's a bit wonky. There's a lot of, like, stuff just being, like, you know, dragged around on screen with, like, blur added in with, like, you know, like, effects and stuff. Yeah. But it's, like, the actual, like, stills of, like, you know, character shots and stuff are, like, on point so much of the time. Like, you just look this right here, it's like, oh yeah, that's a really cool shot.
Yeah, by this point, they had gone through 2 series and like another 2 movies. I think the movies had come out before Tamers.
Yeah.
So they had kind of nailed down. By this point, they had kind of nailed down the art style and everything, like what they wanted to go for.
Yeah, like specifically compared to like O2, this feels like, you know, like a jump in quality. You know, like it. I want to say it feels like they had more time.
Yeah, even then, 02 seemed to have a little bit more animation in the first series.
Yeah.
So basically they improved. They just improved. Their skills as they animated the series.
But yeah, like Calamon Zero just sees these like 2 Digimon just fighting each other after one's like chasing after it. And it gets, like, kind of blown away a bit, and you see, like, Mel effing Dark Tyramon just, like, evolves into, like, Mel Tyramon and just kills the other one.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, hey, yo, what's going on right there? Like, and I'm gonna, like, jump ahead of it because I already noticed, but it's like, yeah, Calamon has the power to make Digimon Digivolve, and, like, this is, like, you know, kind of leading up to that.
Yeah. It's okay. Yeah, it's not a bad thing to jump ahead to that. I think they established that pretty early.
Yeah.
Like, we don't see it in the 3rd episode, but I'm pretty sure that eventually, pretty early on, we see a moment where Calamon glows and then somebody digivolves, and it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, we don't see it, like, directly yet, but it's like, you know, there's definitely, like, a lot of hints to it.
Yeah, it's like, oh look, Calamon's here.
Yeah. Yeah, you see us go on, we see, like, yo, this, like, weird, shadowy, like, government group that's, like, you know... It's like this guy in a suit that keeps, like, flicking his lighter, just, you know, issuing orders to, like... Just this group of people on this weird, like, you know, floating chair thing, just staring at the data points.
They've got a big old screen and like monitoring. But yeah,
Yeah. But yeah, it's like, oh, this, there's some organization out there just monitoring all this, and they're watching the Digimon, man. But yeah, so like track us there. It's like, oh yeah, like this like Calmon's going to the real world. We have to like keep tabs on, like check if there's anything going up with that.
So I'm not sure that they're tracking Calumon. Maybe it is.
Yeah, I believe they're just they're tracking digital distortions in like general, right?
Yeah, it's not specifically Calumon that they're...
Yeah, they're tracking like anomalies essentially. Like they're tracking Digimon potentially coming to the real world, so then like maybe like deal with it or something.
Yeah.
Crap,
Yeah.
I should like turn you up. Yeah. Crap,
Huh.
you were like way too low.
Oh crap. Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't remember their end goal, but yeah, they're definitely tracking Digimon emerging into the real world.
But yeah, they're like, it's not they're like little like hacking sieges doing with these weird like robes on or whatever. Just cuts to like Takata with his friends as little like hideout, and he's just like playing effing like a Digimon card game with him. And it's like, okay, this guy's a Digimon fan, got it.
Yeah, so I've talked about it in previous podcasts, but Digimon Tamers is separate from Adventure in that the Digimon in the Tamers universe is a card game, a TV show, whatever. It's not. It's cut off from Adventure. The characters from Adventure don't exist in this universe.
Like super coincidentally, I will point out that it's like it's like the movies on is like, oh yeah, like Dark Tyrannomon evolves into Mel Tyrannomon and like takes out your male Dramon or whatever. And it's like, okay, yeah, like so if you didn't know what was going on, this is directly saying like, oh yeah, like Dark Tyrannomon digivolved. That's like what that scene was.
Oh, did they parallel what happened in the little card game they're playing?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I didn't even notice. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, we established this little group, like his friends just sort of like run off cause school and stuff.
Yeah, main character Takato and his friends Kenta and Kazu, I think.
Yeah, I think those are their names. They probably have different English names, but I don't remember them.
Kazu's name is longer originally, but they shortened it to Kazu, so that's what I know him as for his English name.
Yeah. But yeah, like, effing, they just run off and like, yeah, there we go. Yeah, there's the image.
Yeah, look at that.
They run off and like, Takao just like has this little box of cards there just fall over. And he looks in there, there's like an effing like blue card there, which I didn't get an image of.
It's just a blue card with a little like dinosaur head outline. Like a little yellow spot with a blue dinosaur head outline. But yeah, that's there's nothing really special about it as far as graphic design goes.
First sounds good, like, if you're about to say like, oh, there's nothing special about it.
No, the blue card's important.
Yeah, cause like, he's looks...
I thought that's how you might take it, so that's why I was rewording it.
He like finds this weird like card in his little box and he's like, oh hey, I've never seen this before. He's got a little like card, like I was confused about this at first, so I went back and rewatched it, but it's like, yeah, he's got his little like card reader that they like scan their Digimon cards through, and it shows like like numbers and attributes and stuff or whatever.
Yeah.
So I guess it's like like a barcode card game or something.
I'm not sure. It probably existed for real as a toy.
Yeah. I know, like, the design of these specific, like, cards, like, you know, the back cover and stuff was, like, actually used as one of the card games. Because of course they would.
Yeah, I'm kind of disappointed they didn't use them for the new card game.
Yeah.
Which I guess they're using it to separate it from the old one, but eh.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Classic
fair.
design is nice.
Yeah, he, like, scans the blue card through the little card reader and just sort of, like, you know, just zaps lightning and, like, you see all these, like, numbers and stuff just scroll through it. He's like, oh, what the heck? And he's like, oh, well, I'll, like, deal with that later. He just runs off to class.
Yeah, they just leave their cards in the playground.
Yeah, he just has a little, like, you know, hidey hole in, like, you know, the top of the little, like, whatever they're in, like, the,
like a slide or something.
Yeah, the structure where he just keeps this box of Digimon cards.
I'd never be able to... I doubt I would have done that as a kid. I'd be too afraid somebody'd steal it.
Like, you would never get that back.
Yeah.
You would lose it so fast.
Yeah, so some other kid would just climb around inside and be like, hey, look, a bunch of free Digimon cards.
Yeah, like, I'm trying to remember these stories are like his, like, because I don't, like, specifically have any stories of people, like, stealing my stuff in school, because I was careful.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, yeah, you wouldn't get that back. It would, like, it get knocked over, like, you know, you get, like, rained on, just all kinds of crap.
Yeah. I don't really understand. Well, I guess they have to keep it somewhere and they can't bring it to school with them.
Yeah. I feel like the reason specifically is like, oh yeah, we need to, like, establish that he's a Digimon fan and then have a reason for him to leave the blue card. So it's like, yeah, it's just on the playground. You know, he just leaves it there, whatever.
Yeah, this is way too much thought for these kids play Digimon before school and leave their cards out at the playground.
Yeah.
So yeah, Takato goes to school.
Yeah, they just sort of rush off, and it's like, you know, he's late to class, so, he just has to, like, stand out in the hallway. He's like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna, like, wait out here, then I don't care.
Yeah. So, well, he's late, so the teacher makes him stay outside.
Yeah, and, while he's out there, he's just like, alright, I'll just draw my Digimon see then.
Yeah. So I want to say real quick, I say that this is cut off from Adventure, but at the time it must have been really confusing for people watching the English dub, because, one, the teacher is voiced by Lara Jill Miller, the voice actress for Kari.
Huh.
And at the end of Adventure 02, Kari grows up to be a teacher.
Yeah, like, I have to wonder if this is, like, actually connected, because, like, when
it's not.
Yeah. Oh,
the teacher just happens to have the same voice actress in the dub.
Well, I'm wondering, because, like, there's a point where Takao just asks his dad, and he's like, oh, hey, are Digimon real? And he's like, oh, well, they weren't around when I grew up.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, like, there's a point where it's like his dad sees the Digimon, and he's not freaked out by it, seemingly.
I don't think he sees Giamon. I think he just sees the box, and he just assumes that something's in it.
I noticed this scene, like, the second episode, where it's like, he, like, looks into the room while Takao's asleep, and, like, it seems like he notices Guilmon, but it's kind of ambiguous. He just goes to, like, Takao's mom, and he's like, oh yeah, like, Takao's a single kid, should we just let him keep the thing? And she's like, nah, we can't.
Oh, that's not what he's getting at all. Maybe, I don't know, maybe I'm reading into it.
Yeah, because this is, like, skip ahead, but I remember, like, I saw that scene for the first time, like, oh, is Takao's parents talking about sex?
Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought the Takado's dad was like, "Hey, what if we had another kid?" So Takado's not a single kid anymore.
Because I rewatched it. It's like it's kind of weirdly phrased, but it's like they don't ever say the word kid, and this comes immediately after he sees him presumably sees him sleeping with Guillemon.
Yeah,
so it's
what?
like.
Yeah. You know what? I think it's supposed to be ambiguous, but I think he did mean a pet.
Yeah.
Because later he's like, Takado, did you get rid of that box? And he's like, I'm sure it must have been really hard to get rid of it. And he seems like kind of upset. Like I think his dad wants a pet as much as Takado does.
Yeah. Or alternatively, wild out their crazy theory. Takao's dad knows about Digimon and might have used to be a tamer.
I don't think that's the case.
Probably not. But what if he was Tai though?
Someone's dad might know what Digimon are, but it's not Takado's.
Yeah.
Spoilers. Anyways.
But yeah.
So yeah, I think I talked about this on a podcast before. Again, I talk about Tamers a lot when it comes to Digimon, because I really like Tamers.
Yeah, it's a good series.
But yeah, Takado is drawing Guillemon, and he's like, yeah, it's gotta like the picture says, it's gotta be red, and it's gotta look like a dinosaur. It's gotta have attack like Agumon, but stronger. It's the strongest rookie.
He's going like a dangerous virus type. His special attack is did. He's like sketch all this on the notebook.
Yeah. Also, I like that when his card reader created Guillemon, jumping ahead a little bit.
Yeah.
It takes a few liberties with his sketch. Like it gives like the hazard sign on his chest and everything, which Takado didn't draw.
Yeah. I'm actually kind of wondering about that, because, look at, at first I thought it was just the hazard sign, but no, it changed the color of, its claws and stuff, too.
Oh yeah, Guillemon's got white claws, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Maybe it's just... The Digivice knows better design than Takado.
Yeah, fair enough.
I think it's fine. It's not perfect to Takado's design, but... I think Guillemon looks great.
Can you imagine if, Guillemon just shows up and he actually looks like the sketch, pencil marks and all?
Yeah,
he's just completely flat. He's like, hey, Takao, I'm your Digimon!
Yeah, oh man. So yeah, he gets in trouble for sketching, I think.
Yeah.
Sketching Guillemon. It's been about a week since I watched the first episode. I kind of skimmed through it this morning because I had already watched it, but I probably should have just watched it from the beginning.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, I think he just goes home at this point, right?
Well, first, gets in trouble with the teacher. Yeah, he, talks to Jerry real quick. So, yeah, Jerry just shows up. She's just, classmate that is this weird dog puppet. And, she's just oh, hey, make sure you don't get in trouble, woof. And he's like, oh, alright. And, yeah, it's, character established.
Yeah, Jerry's kind of silly. She's got a dog hand puppet thing that she carries around. It's fine.
Yeah, I'm sure there's no underlying bigger things with that at all. But yeah, Cav gets the blue card, He
He goes back to the playground and he finds that the blue card is... Or it's not there, I don't think, but his reader has turned into a Digivice.
Yeah, I think it's specifically meant to be the reader, not the card itself. Because the blue card is gone, which is confusing as heck, but it's oh yeah, the reader's like, yo, it became a Digivice, and oh, it's got slots to slide the cards through, and oh, look how mysterious this is.
Yeah. So the implication is that the blue card probably, most definitely turned the reader into the Digivice.
Yeah. Yeah, he, like, goes home with it, you know, he's, like, looking through a bunch of, like, you know, stuff in his notebook. He's like, wait, if this is a Digivice, then, like, I wonder, like, tries to, like, scan just the raw effing, like, you know, like, notebook through the reader.
Yeah, at first it gets jammed, but then it starts, like, just scanning the pages automatically. It's kind of like the Digivice is like, alright, I can work with this.
I can make this work.
So, I've said in previous series that the Digivice does what the plot needs it to. I don't know. It's kind of doing that now, where it's just like, alright, I can take these sketches and turn it into data.
I feel like this is the point where it's like, you know, stuff like that's, like, super fine, right? Because it's like, you know, yeah, it's like new setting, you know, we're making up new rules, we're, like, establishing stuff, you know. It's all, like, very early on, very fresh, you know?
Yeah, blue card turns the blue card makes the Digivice real, and so it can do things.
Yeah, it's not like this is like, you know, like 12 episodes in, and then he's like, oh, if only I had Digimon, and then it just absorbs the thing and makes Guilmon.
Yeah. So yeah, Takato, I think he goes to sleep and wakes up to find, oh no, he sees the egg on the Digivice before he goes to sleep, right?
Yeah, he's like, oh hey, there's an egg on this thing, that means, oh, I'm gonna get a Digimon, and he's like super excited about it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so I like that Takato isn't sitting around as, what does this mean? He's like, he kind of knows what it means. He's like, oh man, this is nuts, I'm gonna get a Digimon.
Like, it's very streamlined, right? Like, just very, like, you know, A to B with a lot of this stuff.
Yeah, Takato accepts this really fast, and of course, he's super okay with it, because who wouldn't be?
Yeah, because he's a Digimon fan.
Yeah.
Which,
and so
like...
he goes to... Oh, sorry, go
ahead. But yeah, it's like what makes it, like, you know, kind of like a weirdly endearing protagonist at first, because it's like, hey, you like Digimon? This guy also likes Digimon. There you go. It's like, yeah, alright, that's like one likable trait right off the bat. He likes the Digimon.
Yeah, you know what? It makes sense for this being a new series or whatever. In Adventure and Adventure Zero 2, to some extent, the main characters are like, whoa, Digimon, what's that? And they gotta learn all this stuff about Digimon. But in this universe, Takato knows what a Digimon is, and he knows the implications of what's happening. And it's like, so does the audience. So it's like, yeah.
Yeah, it just sort of like speeds it along really nicely.
So yeah.
Yeah, he goes to sleep. Sorry.
It's a dream.
Yeah,
I was going to the same place.
He has a weird dream about, like, a girl. No, I'm being serious, though.
It is kind of weird that he has a dream about Rika fighting, whatever this Digimon is.
Like, it's implied he astral projects and, like, sees the event as it happens.
Yeah, so that's the weirder part, is that, yeah, it seems like he, like, flew out of his body and witnessed this fight somewhere else. Yeah. Which doesn't seem to serve a purpose except to introduce the audience to Rika.
Yeah, like, introduces you to Rika and, like, you know, how her, like, Digimon fights and stuff like that. So it's like, you know, fair enough, you know. Like, it'd be weird if this episode ended without at least, like, one action scene.
Yeah. So we're introduced to Renamon, who is a rookie who most people would probably assume is a champion on first glance.
Yeah. Like, Renon's got just such a cool design, you know?
Yeah, kind of like a Gatomon as a champion who looks like a rookie. It's, I don't know, Digimon design's weird.
Just, like, Shoso doesn't know, like, just Gaomon, Romon, like, right next to each other. It's like one of these Digimon's way stronger than the other.
Yeah, or should be.
Can you guess which one it is? Yeah, like, Romon's just fighting some Digimon, like some random Lynxmon. You know, it's like Ping or Dan stuff, and Rika's like, oh hey, like, yo, Con, you should be better than this, and she, like, scans a Digimon card through, like, her Digivice. Like, you know, activates the card's effect to, like, powers up her Digimon, so, yo, Romon becomes faster and she just shoots her, like, crystals out and wins, you know?
I guess this weird dream sequence also establishes that Digimon partners or Tamers can power up their partners with the cards.
Yeah. And it also establishes that it's like, with the cards, Romon's presumably on the level of, like, you know, a champion or something.
At the very least, they can give a rookie a temporary power boost to get there.
Yeah, because she, like, you know, she shoots our crystals, you know, like, literally just shoots, like, a storm of effing, like, crystals at the thing. And it, like, you know, just dies, and, like, you know, I think we see her absorb its data, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, anytime Rika and Renamon early on kill a Digimon, they absorb it.
Yeah, which is, like, another big new mechanic, because, you know, like, in older shows, like, Digimon would just sort of die and that'd be it. But here it's like, oh no, like, if you kill something, you can just, like, absorb its data and, like, it boosts your strength, and, like, you become stronger, right? Like, you literally gain XP, essentially.
Yeah, jumping ahead of the plot a little bit, there seems to be a Digimon reincarnation cycle, but if you absorb the Digimon's data, they don't go into that cycle, and they just become part of the Digimon that absorbed it.
Yeah. Honestly, like, I do dig that change a lot, because it means, like, oh yeah, like, you know, the bad guy, like, kills your Digimon and he, like, absorbs their energy. It's like, okay, they're not coming back. So,
Yeah,
like, until that bad guy is gone, death is permanent.
Yeah, real stakes.
Yeah, which Cav, like, I don't want to get too off into Tri, but that Cav does throw a huge wrench into, like, Genai's weird Tri thing of, like, oh, Digimon are immortal, and, you know, they're reincarnated, so they're superior to humans.
Yeah, well, supposedly, Digimon absorb the data of other Digimon. Upon defeat, you would assume that their data would go back into the cycle. I don't know if that's how it works, but you would assume so.
I would assume what this would lead to is, like, a lot of Digimon just absorbing each other's data until there's just, like, you know, like, a small handful of really powerful ones that are just, like, you know, just leeching off of everything else because nothing else can come back.
Yeah. Also, I like this explanation, this mechanic, I guess, because it explains why certain Digimon are just hanging out in Champion and above in the wild.
Yeah, they just, like, they absorb data, and then, you know, they just got strong enough to evolve, and it's like, yeah, you know, they just fought their way up to that form.
Yeah. So, Takato wakes up from his dream after Rika and Renamon defeat it. What'd you say, it was Lynxmon?
Yeah.
Yeah, they defeat Lynxmon, and Takato wakes up, and he looks at his Digivice, and the egg is hatched.
Yeah, so, like, I think first he sees it's hatched, and he, like, goes to tell his friends or something, and then he goes to search for the egg. Yeah, I think that's the specific order.
Yeah, because his friends make fun of him.
Yeah, he's like, no, but I had a dream about, like, this girl, and they're just like, oh, you wet the bed.
Yeah.
Like, specifically, it's like, no, but, like, it felt real, like, I could feel the rain. There's like, oh, you wet the bed then.
Yeah, that's it. That's the link to, like, the bedwetting thing. I was like, what, where did they go? How did they... Yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, like, Guilmon's egg hatches, and you see flashes of effing Guilmon, and he looks terrifying.
Yeah. So, a lot of what's left of this episode, as far as I remember, is just Takato like going around and searching for what Guillemon is.
Yeah, like he goes way out of his way to this like construction site. And it's all very mysterious, you know.
Yeah,
because his Digivice just shows him the direction his partner's in, so he's just like he's following the arrow.
Yeah, there's like a compass on his Digivice. Or a tracker.
Yeah. Which, makes sense. I feel like that was something they established before in, like, the old seasons.
Yeah, it's nice that they established it early that that's a thing that Digivice can do. So it's like an old abandoned construction site or something where Guillemon pops up.
Yeah, so...
I'm not sure what it is, but,
yeah, he goes there and you see that, like, the government guys are, like, they're tracking, like, Guillemon as he's, like, going to the real world, and there's, like, oh, should we, like, launch a tracker or, like, follow him? It's like, no, there's, like, we'll wait till it realizes and then we'll see what happens.
Realizes being the term for, it becoming tangible.
Yeah, it becomes real, it is no longer data.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Takato shows up, and I think there's like a beam of light that erupts out of the ground, and Guillemon's just sitting there.
Yeah. I do want to point out, I effing love Guillemon's design. Partially because... Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, partially because it's just like, a really cool, like, appealing, just, like, good color scheme, like, good design choices. Also because, like, it's just so flexible,
Yeah, he's like, it's got the typical dinosaur design, but, like, he's, I don't know, it's kind of like a raptor.
Yeah,
a raptor with buff arms.
Like, he's got arms so he can, like, actually manipulate things, Like, he's got those ears so he can be really, like, expressive and, like, show off different emotions really easily. Like, he's designed in a way where it's like, in this image he looks adorable, and he goes from looking adorable to looking just super, like, intimidating, like, on a whim, and it's great.
Yeah, well, it helps that sometimes his, like, he does the lizard thing where his eyes just, like, narrow.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, and that happens a few times. I think it happens in most instances when Guillemon's fighting. But yeah, really solid design for a 10-year-old.
Guy knew his color theory.
Yeah, black, red, and white looks great together.
Yeah, so Guillemon just appears, and Takao's like, oh, hey, like, I'm the one who made you. Hey, like, are you really here, Guillemon? And his first reaction is, like, Guillemon just sees an effing, like, pile of rats. And, yeah, he just sort of makes those not exist anymore.
Yeah, Guillemon just turns a bunch of rats into ash.
Yeah, he just shoots a big fire blast down, and it's like, oh.
Like,
oh, that's what we're dealing with.
Look how cute Guillemon is. Pyrosphere.
Yeah, like, I feel like this is gonna be, like, a big recurring thing with the series, where it's like, Takato has no idea what the crap he's doing.
Yeah. It's cute. It blows me up.
Yeah, exactly.
Guillemon's great. As far as the start, like the kids' starters go, their partners go. Yeah, Guillemon's probably my favorite.
Yeah, you got the fire one, the water one, and the grass one. Which one's the grass one? I'll let you decide.
Terriermon's the most associated with green.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, Romon is kind of, well, whatever.
Rotomon's usually pretty close to, like, purple, isn't she?
Yeah. Lots like purples and yellows and, like, that line, basically.
Yeah, because it's her colors. Anyways,
Yeah, Guilmon kills some rats, and Takao's immediately like, oh god, what have I done?
yeah.
Like, he starts backing away, like, in fear as Guilmon just looks at him, and he's like, oh, I don't know how to control this thing.
Yeah. Takato goes from being really okay with everything to being scared out of his mind, rightfully so. And it doesn't help that Guilmon's not saying anything and he's just kind of growling.
Yeah. Like, throughout these episodes, Guilmon just sort of acts like a dog for the most part, but can talk.
Yeah, very little.
Yeah.
Which is quite a contrast to the English dub, as far as I remember. Like, Guilmon didn't talk a lot, but I feel like he talked more in the dub than he did in the sub in the beginning.
Yeah.
Also, I like that... So, in the dub, I think... Does Guilmon... Oh, you wouldn't know. But I think Guilmon calls Takatomon throughout a lot of the series.
I feel like I vaguely remember that.
Yeah. So, in the original dialogue, Guilmon calling Takatomon is just like a one-off thing. Like, because Guilmon doesn't know his name. So, when cutting ahead a little bit, when Takato's trying to sneak Guilmon into his room, he tells him to climb the stairs, and then Guilmon goes, "Climb on!" and he runs up the stairs.
Yeah. Like, this is basically the end of episode 1 anyway, so we might as well just cut ahead.